What's up, Harley? Damn, man, you scared the shit out of me, man. What the fuck, man? Yeah.
Breaking news.
Shut up, bitch. This is breaking ghetto news.
You ain't tell me shit.
Look at that beautiful black woman. Wait a minute. Is that a big ass alien standing behind her? Big black eyes and shit. Is that what that really is? Shit. My girl sent me that picture, and she was telling me that those lights behind her are really white. So as soon as I looked at it, then I was like, it looked like a big ass alien standing behind her. Yeah, I'm gonna get into this shit in a minute. But I'm gonna tell y'all a little story right quick, and I'm gonna try my best to keep this shit in chronological order, whatever the fuck you say, yeah. But it don't matter anyway. Nobody gives a fuck. But listen to this shit, niggas. Listen to this shit, niggas. For a number of weeks leading up to Halloween this year, I was talking about these energies that's coming through. Positive energies, negative energies, good guys, bad guys, these entities going through Ascension, and all this shit was gonna happen. I was talking about the spirit world was gonna open up, because I mentioned that soon as once I came back to YouTube this year, I pretty much stopped having dreams, and I dream all the time, seeing these entities, family members, and so on and so forth in my so-called dreams. Oh, there I go. But anyway, I've been dreaming like a motherfucker these last few days. But before I get ahead of myself, let me talk about this shit right quick. We had a cold ass day on Halloween, and leading up to that, I was talking about Spirit World was gonna open up during this time, and of course, that's what ended up happening. So it got real cold, real cold, unusual even for this area, Gary, Indiana, Chicago. And I eventually talked about, yeah, some shit opened up, portal or portals, a lot of energy and demons and all kinds of shit came through. And of course, what was it, days after Halloween, November 3rd, we had the election, and then I seen a snake. I talked about that shit. Representation of either some negative shit and or the Kundalini energy. Now, also during this time, I kept telling y'all about the dog, which among many things is a representation of the wedding feast of the Lamb, the end times, the opening up of the sixth seal, so on and so forth. And eventually, while I was talking about this shit for a number of days and weeks, my queen sent me a video from Riz. And I told her not long after this that I just had a dream about him. Nothing crazy was going on. I just seen him in one of my so-called dreams, and he was talking. It was a short dream. And right around that time, I was like, I forgot he sent me some images. And eventually, he sent me some images last year, right before I left YouTube for a whole year. Had to get away from these motherfuckers for a while and go through some shit with these niggas. Some prophetic shit, the usual demonic shit nigga like me always going through. But anyway, I ended up using some of those videos, some of those images that Riz sent me. Eventually, I got in contact with him, and there I go. The video that I made that showing a clip or two from Riz, Kalian Riz, he was talking about the dog as well. manifesting in the fucking clouds and shit during this hurricane or whatever it was. And he was talking about Anubis. Yeah, and some people were saying it looked like a wolf and all this shit, which of course it is a dog. You know, a dog comes from wolf. So we got all these manifestations going on, and it's all this shit is leading up to us getting ready to go through this ascension. And this is what happened the last number of days, going back to Friday the 13th of this month. And on Friday the 13th, and y'all know I've been showing the dog, talking about running into these dogs and all this shit. And that crazy ass dog that I was telling y'all about not too long ago, she damn near chewed off my nigga Harley's nose and shit. I was trying not to laugh, but you know, it is what it is. Motherfucker always getting his ass whipped. That's my nigga, but anyway. What ended up happening on Friday the 13th, that crazy ass dog, y'all know the one that I end up saving, just came into my life all of a sudden. And I was calling a Hurricane Hoppy. This dog was wild as shit. And I kept her for a couple of days, took care of her as long as I could, and I had to let her go. And eventually, a few days after I let her go, I had a dream about her, this dog, who I call Hurricane Hoppy. And I told my sister about it. And basically that dream, she was just letting me know that she was okay, because I couldn't find the owner. I couldn't keep her though, because she's too wild, beating the shit out of Harley, chewing up shit and all kinds of shit. Beautiful dog, with just too fucking wild for me, and I can barely take care of the cats I got, let alone take care of a motherfucking dog. I only got her because, you know, she had that long leash on her, like I said. You know, I ain't want her to get fucked up with that shit. So eventually, after I let her go, I seen her in the dream. Basically, she was letting me know that she's all right and she made it home. So here we go with all this shit. The dog and this energy coming through. So like I said, we started going through this ascension, especially over the last number of days. My brother Apache the Fox, who I keep talking about, he was talking about he felt this energy going through his body. Somebody else left a comment saying the same thing in so many ways. And he was talking about having a toothache before in a previous incident like this. And I was telling him that I'm just having a problem with my tooth and shit. And this shit is all spiritual. It's part of our ascension. It's a lot of fucking energy going around right now. So I ended up getting in contact with Riz, thanking him for leaving me those images, sending me those images. And next thing you know, I'm getting all kinds of comments and new subscribers and shit. I'm like, what the fuck is going on here? Then I remember my girl told me that Riz had put a couple of my videos on this community post. And I was like, oh, this is where all these niggas come from. And I was like, oh shit, I got a whole bunch of new niggas to cuss out. No, I'm just kidding. But shout out to Riz and shout out to everybody who's new to my channel and all that shit. Yeah, we've been going through this ascension over the last number of days. This some major energy came through. And I was just telling my girl about Riz. I was like, you been listening to Riz lately? He seemed kind of pissed off. He seemed like he's a little bit more pissed off lately. And I was like, oh shit, some energy just came through. Because Riz, he ain't no motherfucking punk. I knew that shit. But I ain't never seen him upset like this. So some energy came through and started affecting us. So now over the last number of days, I can't fucking stay awake. Last 3 days or whatever, I've been sleeping my ass off. Can't stay awake for shit. I probably went to sleep like 5 times within a 3-day period. Sleep for like 3-4 hours, wake up for like 3-4 hours, go back to sleep back and forth. It's just like been sleepy as shit. And this is a major sign of when it comes to an ascension symptom. Can't, you know, sleeping like crazy. You know, people talking about the energies and all this shit going through their body and so on and so forth. A lot of crazy shit going on. So check this out. After all this shit calmed down a little bit, this was Monday, November 23rd, last night. It's Tuesday right now. I'm making this video. I walked outside in the backyard, and as usual, I always look in the sky. I saw the Holy Spirit was telling me to look up at the moon and pay attention. So while I'm walking by, walking by that cool ass walk, y'all know I'm a cool motherfucker. I'm looking up at the moon, while I'm walking and shit. And I saw a plane go right in front of the moon and spray them fucking chemtrails. So I was like, I know something's going on. So I immediately pulled out my camera and started recording. So when they always spray chemtrails, not all the time, but when it's like they want to get a little early start. They'll spray chemtrails at night sometimes, get a little early start for the morning and the next day, But whenever they spray chemtrails right in front of the moon, that means something's going on with the moon. And that's the main reason why I started recording. So I started recording. I recorded the moon for about a little under 3 minutes. And after I did that shit, I went and checked out the video. And I decided to take some snapshots and zoom in on that shit. Yeah. It's some major fucking energy that just came through. I sent some of these images to Riz, and once I get in contact with him again, I'm gonna send some more. I'm not gonna waste my time or y'all time trying to point all this shit out. But this image of the moon zoomed in, and this one right here is with a filter on it, make it a little more clear and brighter. It's all kinds of demons, entities, and all kinds of shit right around this motherfucking moon. It's all over the motherfucking place. Y'all just glance at that shit. You can clearly see that shit. It fucking looks like hell. And I took another images around the moon as well with the filter, zoomed in. That shit all over that motherfucker. We just went through some major ascension. And like I said, whenever we go through this shit, we go through some positive shit. And at the same time, there's a balance and a lot of negative shit happens. A lot of negative entities, aliens, demons, and whatever else come through as well. So, like I said, I'm just showing y'all these images. Let y'all get a glance at them and shit. I ain't gonna waste my time or your time trying to point this shit out. I just let Riz do that shit for y'all. I know he gonna see that shit and break that shit down like a motherfucker. He truly is an expert with this shit. But other than that, I want to show y'all this shit again with this motherfucking big ass alien standing behind my queen and shit. Now, I know y'all can see that shit. It's unfortunate that when a lot of people see this shit, they think that it's just a fucking coincidence. And even situations like, they show this in the movies all the time. You will have somebody like in a scary movie, and they will be sitting down, they'll be laying down in the bed, and they already be scared. And they'll look over at the chair, and they think they see a monster sitting over there, or some kind of demon or whatever the fuck. They turn the light on and realize it's just a fucking sweater that they threw in the chair or whatever. Yeah, that wasn't no demon, that wasn't no monster or whatever. Bullshit. We live in the fucking Matrix. And I told y'all the only thing that's real about this shit, the only thing that's real about this so-called reality, the only thing that's real is the spirits, the energy, and our soul. Everything else is some bullshit. It's a fucking simulation. And these demons, entities, and all this shit in the spiritual form, when we see shit thinking that it's a monster or whatever laying over in the chair and it's just a jacket or whatever the fuck, no, it is what it is. That's those demons fucking with us. They can manifest themselves, obviously, in the spiritual form. And you'll see them clearly in the spiritual form. But sometimes they can and will manifest through physical objects and manipulate certain things and make it look like this and that. And people think it's just a coincidence. No, that's these entities fucking with you. So this situation with this obvious big ass alien standing behind my queen, no matter what the situation is about why that shit looks like that, because I told her to take a couple of more images with and without the light on and so on and so forth. And she told me that those lights are supposed to be white. And whenever she would sit down, they would automatically be blue. And that ain't no fucking coincidence either. Because I told y'all in one of my previous videos, they've been showing a whole lot of movies. Every time they show these aliens, UFOs, whatever you want to call them, these spaceships, they always be blue. Blue lights, so on and so forth, you know. And, of course, we had that incident in New York with all them fucking blue lights, and they claiming it was Transformers and shit. Bullshit. So, this manifestation of this alien standing right behind my queen, that ain't no fucking coincidence. We live in the fucking Matrix, and these entities will manifest like this. And people will just take this shit for granted and brush it off. But this is why they talk about the motherfucking Transformers, like I mentioned before. The Transformers is talking about angels, demons, in a spiritual form, who can transform themselves and manifest themselves, look like whatever the fuck they want. And this is what's going on when we see these type of things. So no matter how something goes down, something manifests, it's just a cloud, but it looks like a man and all this shit, it ain't no fucking coincidence. These are spirits that we working with, manifesting through this reality as we getting closer and closer to the spirit world truly opening up the motherfucking sixth seal. And here you got this image where I took this image, this might be 10 years ago. And you can clearly see that's a big ass motherfucking bird. You can see the head, the neck, wings, and everything. And a year or so later, it was a clear sky, no clouds at all. And, you know, that's my house right here. And I was in the backyard. And all of a sudden, right over my house, right over my head, big ass so-called cloud formation, shaped just like that bird, slowly flew over my head. These are manifestations from the spirit world, from entities. Yeah, signs, and only those of us who are awake will be able to recognize this type of shit. So, yeah. What more can I say? We had some major Ascension shit that went down the last 3 days, the last week. A lot of people have been talking about this shit, feeling this energy, not feeling well. I'm dealing with a toothache, so on and so forth. And like I said, concerning these all this shit around the moon, I'm sure y'all can see all that shit. It looks like hell. And this is why them motherfuckers were spraying them chemtrails in front of the moon. Because they didn't want us to see that shit. And it wasn't too long ago, I think her name is Gina Maria Colvin Hill. She put up an image on her community post showing them motherfuckers spraying them chemtrails right in front of the moon. And the moon was so fucking bright that night when I caught that shit. I knew something was going down. A lot of times when you record the moon, you don't have a good camera. It'll make it look like it's a full moon and it's really not. That's normal. But the main reason why, because obviously it wasn't a full moon Monday night. But the reason why it looked like a full moon that night is because the moon was super, super bright. Damn, that looked like the fucking sun. It was so fucking bright. It was a lot of fucking energy came through during that time. And hours later, it started snowing around here too. And it wasn't even, they didn't even say it was supposed to be snow. It's your ass, Mr. Postman. So yeah, concerning these images, like I said, more than likely, Riz gonna check this shit out and break this shit down for y'all better than I ever could. And only thing else I gotta say is, I'm gonna probably, I guess, hopefully, finally take a little time off. And anybody want to get in contact with me during this time, I may end up still uploading a video here and there. I can use my phone and shit. But I'm not going to take my computer with me when I get the fuck up out of here. Hopefully everything goes well and this shit plays out the way I plan on it. But while I'm gone for a while, once again, anybody want to get in contact with me, My email address is playerlord144@aol.com. That's playerlord144@aol.com. Now, also let me say this. I seen this video. It was an interview, almost an hour long. I highly recommend y'all check this shit out. If y'all don't watch the whole, or should I say listen, if y'all don't listen to the whole thing, y'all should at least listen to half of it. First 30 minutes is very important. When I heard this interview, I was like, I'm gonna make a video off this shit. But if I made a video off this shit, it probably end up getting banned. And I had already talked about this anyway, but this motherfucker, they put that shit in perspective. Talking about this vaccine. That's all I'm gonna say. And anybody who checked this interview out, feel free to leave comments in this video talking about that shit. That shit ain't no fucking joke, and I highly recommend y'all check that shit out. I'll put the links, of course, in the description box, and I'm gonna also put a link in the description box to another video showing these clouds and shit, formations and all that shit that people think is just a coincidence. And also, one more thing before I close this out. I'm always talking about that fucking fake ass eclipse that we had in 2017. That shit happened around 1 p.m., 2 p.m. that particular day in August of 2017. And I made a little documentary about that shit and talking about other shit with concerning the moon landing and shit like that. Yeah. So that night, after I uploaded the video, I'm in the fucking zone, sitting in my bed, and I'm zoned out like a motherfucker. And it's quiet, just sitting on my bed. Next thing you know, I heard the sound. And because I was in the zone, that shit scared the shit out of me. I'm like, I'm like, what the fuck? So I looked up, and it was a pipe that just started leaking. And it made a fucking perfect circle. And it was more perfect. This is the image I'm showing y'all now. This is how it looks right now. I just took this image. That water started leaking. And it quickly made a perfect circle. And then, as you can see, it made another small circle. And that shit happened the night that we had that fake ass eclipse in August of 2017, when I said a lot of people got fucked up, and it eventually led to all kinds of hurricanes, niggas drowning in the streets, and all kinds of shit. FEMA camps. That was a manifestation. Some hardcore spiritual shit. That fucking circle and then that little small circle, that's that same shit that they kept showing us in that iPad Go 2 shit. That Heliofont shit. And that's the kind of manifestations that I've been having, we've been having, and most of us will miss this shit and dismiss it. But this is how the spirit world speaks to us. And we just got, like I said so many times, we just gotta pay attention to this shit. Because the shit is right there in our motherfucking face. So that's all I got to say. Shout out to my nigga Riz and Kalai. All my subscribers, all my new subscribers. Shout out to everybody who's always watching my videos. Much love to you all. Shout out to my queen. What up, baby? Oh yeah, shout out to my sister for here's another fucking coincidence. Talking about that video that I'm gonna put in the description box with them talking about these cloud formations. I think it's about 10 minutes long. She just sent me that link to that video. I got 3 sisters, but my sister who I'm talking about who sent me that video, you know who you are.
Oh, this fucker taping.
Yeah, damn right. So, yeah, and that's about it. What else was I gonna say? Shit, I don't know. But yeah, hopefully I'm finna finally take a real break from this shit. And like I said, during this time, y'all feel free to send me an email and all that shit. And yeah, that's it. I guess the player lord finally finna go on a real vacation. But yeah, y'all check out especially that fucking video I was telling y'all about, that interview talking about this motherfucking vaccine, Mark of the Beast. And like I said, feel free to leave comments on this video if y'all check that shit out. So that's all I got to say. It's fucking what? 11:55 p.m. November 24th, 2020. I'm out here in this garage and it's cold in the motherfucker. I'm out here, niggas. Player Lord, Lord of all players. I'm out of here. Peace.
It's your ass, Mr. Postman.